What is going on, everybody? Going Youper here, Fitz Family Constrictors. Hope y'all doing well. What's going on, Chris Iron Dog? What's going on? See some other chats up there, but I can't see it for some reason. Hey, what's going on, Blackbird? I'm just going to let you know right now that I'm not going to have any shenanigans in here. All right. Right now, I don't personally have any problem with you, and nobody else does either. But if I see any shenanigans, I'm going to get rid of you, and I don't want to do that. So let's be cool. Okay? And that's about as nice as I'll get with it. I'm just being honest and upfront and fair. I've seen some tomfoolery from you in the past, which I don't necessarily dislike, just so you know. I like tomfoolery. I hate saying that word. It sounds corny, but not always. What's going on, Solar Bear? How you doing? Thank you for joining. Now, as I said earlier, I am a reptile channel. Primarily, that's what I do. But in the beginning, I was calling myself Going Youper. And that's mainly what my channel is going to be about, is just kind of how I'm becoming a Youper. We moved up here. And in order to really kind of kick it off, I guess I got to tell you why I moved up here, which is the question I get asked probably the most outside of videos and in videos. Everybody wants to know, why would you move from Southwest Florida to the UP of Michigan? And it's a legitimate question. I'd ask the same thing. It's a totally different contrast, and it's legitimate. But every time I answer that question, people end up feeling a little bummed out. Now, Eli, can you come join me for a quick second? I know you're gaming and stuff. You might be a little too tall nowadays, so you might have to scoot down and say hi. Woohoo, there he is. Go ahead and give away. Go ahead and give away. Say hello.
Hello.
A little nervous about being on cam? It's all right. All right. You can go back to your game. I appreciate it. I already talked to Eli if it was okay if I talked a little bit about this, so you all know. Eli lost his mom and dad back in 2012, and he went to live with his grandmother for a little while. But she had some serious back surgeries coming up. Things were about to change in her life. It was going to make it very difficult to take care of a 4-year-old at the time that had some slight issues. You know, I'd say behavior issues, but not violent, mean behavior issues. More like can't keep his fingers off of other people's stuff issues. Not stealing, but oh, everybody's asleep, I'm going to go mess with their stuff type of things. And we knew it was going to be a little bit difficult for my wife's mom, who, you know, just buried her daughter, you know, which is a very hard thing to do. So, and that was very late in 2012. And he lived with his grandmother for about 1.5 years. And my wife and I talked about it, and we said, you know, let's move up there and adopt Eli. And that way he can be around the family that he knows. And we can kind of keep him within the family, because, you know, we didn't know what was going to happen with my wife's mom, who would kill herself to try and keep taking care of him. And she's done a lot for a lot of the family, and she's done her time. So we just thought it would be the best thing. So we took our kids and moved up here. So that's why we're here. That's one of the big questions that we get asked a lot. I will go back and check on questions, everybody. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm very grateful that you all joined. Please stick around for a little bit, though, because I do want to give you some more information about some cool giveaways that are coming up on another channel that you don't want to miss out. Just be a lot of fun. But anyway, so that's why we moved to the UP. So moving to the UP from Southwest Florida was a giant culture shock. I mean, and I don't think I even thought about it. I did move up here for about a year, a little over a year, back in 1998. That's when I met my wife. I met her up here. And I couldn't deal with the winters then. So we moved back to Florida 17 years later. So we moved back up here to do this. It's a different entity. So I made a channel called Going Youper. My channel is going to be a lot about firearms and things like that. But then YouTube ended up taking a big crap on firearm videos. So I decided I got to go a different way. Right about that time, we paid off our property and land. And my wife was like, why don't you get back into the snake thing? And I started doing the reptile thing, and here we are now. That said, I do a lot of UP videos. I don't do a lot of them. That's a lie. Every now and then I do a UP video. They do get the most views on my channel. And that's not necessarily the only reason I keep making them. It's because I do have a lot of people that watch my stuff just for the UP stuff, and they are very interested to see how I'm doing and what I'm up to. So that is what this video is going to be about. I'm going to try and have a little bit shorter live than normal for multiple reasons. I'm actually not feeling that good. I'm hoping it's just the dry weather making my throat a little itchy and I'm not getting the COVID. So anyway, I want to address some of those questions. And the very first one is, why would you move up here? That's why we moved up here. Eli has come such a long way. He's helped our family and he knows this. He's helped our family, I think, more than we've helped him. You know what I mean? I guess you probably don't know what I mean. I didn't get to go to any of my kids' baseball games and football games and basketball games. I didn't get to go to any of their school functions. I didn't get to go to any of the things they wanted to do. I worked every day, all night long, always. I never got to do any of that. So once we moved up here, over the years, I have been able to actually be part of the family, which is, you can't put a tag on that. And I don't think if this situation came along, my family would be as tight as it is. I mean, heck, we might not even be together today. You know what I mean? Things are strange. So it has worked out great for us in that aspect, just a horrible way to get there. So I want to thank some people real quick. Donna, thank you for coming in. Wisconsin, constrictors, can't say that, so hard to say that in the first place. How you doing, my friend? Boston Boas, hi, how you doing? So first thing I want to say is that there's a lot of amazing things about living here in the UP. I've never felt so free in my life. I mean, literally 100% free. I tell people this all the time. I could go out and get my mail, not wearing a thing, and shooting my firearm off all the way out to the mailbox just for shits and giggles. And it isn't going to bother anybody. You know, we're just going to call the cops on me. I'm not going to get tasered. If your grass is a little bit too long in Florida, you have somebody out there measuring it, and then you have the county come by with a cop just in case there's a problem. It's a whole thing. I'm absolutely free here. Love that. Lana, how you doing? L. Harper's, how you doing? Somebody asked something. Hey, what's up, everybody? Work? You working, man? Always making that money. That's how you get to where you want to go. I tell people that all the time. You got to work your butt off. My Animal House, how you doing? So, again, not very long video, and it's kind of the good bad. I'm very free here in the UP. I love that. It's very easy on the eyes, but then again, I'm coming from Southwest Florida. I mean, we had a house on the canal with, you know, dolphins in it every now and then. It was right down from the beach. I mean, it was beautiful weather, excluding the hurricane that took 2 of our homes, and the reason why we had to live in the house on the beach and pay all that money for rent. God, it was so expensive. We didn't have a choice. Nothing was left. Yeah, what if your grass is too long? Then they fine you. They fine you. I think it was anywhere from $200 to $400. I could be off. I don't even know. Just depends on where you lived. And everywhere in Florida has a bunch of different regulations. Like in our area, you weren't allowed to have a white pickup truck or a white van or any pickup truck. I think it was any pickup truck, but you also weren't allowed to have any white vans, work vans, or any vehicles in your driveway. So if you had a work vehicle, you had to put it in your garage. So my neighbor had a small plane in his garage, and he ended up putting that out in his driveway so he could park his truck in there. And I think they ended up changing the rule by now in that area. It's totally weird. So anyway, the scenery around here is amazing. If you love wildlife and more on the mammal side of things, this place is, I mean, I don't know if it gets much better. Every day I see huge deer, and so, you know, some days it's 20, 30, some days hundreds of them. Some days I'll drive by a field and there'll literally be 50 deer just spread out, hanging out, doing their thing, or running out in front of you. We're going to get more about the deer because the deer are cool to look at, but they're also not so cool at the same time. That will be in the next segment of this. For the most part, I'm pretty private out there where I live in the middle of the forest. That said, anything you kind of want, you really need to kind of be an engineer. And this is kind of a plus thing too. That's why I'm adding it on the good. I've had to learn how to do a lot of things. I still can't build to save my life. What's going on, Exquisite Exotics? How you doing? Want to give you a shout out there. How you doing? Yeah, the crazy rules are just insane. People have it hard enough as it is. But you should ask me, when I lived down by the beach, the rules are even crazier. I mean, if you hung your wet shirt after getting out of the pool, and we had a nice pool, all screened in pool, real nice. But if you left your shirt hanging over the rail in the pool, one of your neighbors would call that you're like hanging up your clothes to dry, and somebody would come by heckle you and bother you. It's just a headache. Um, but yeah, Florida. Yeah, Southwest Florida. I'm sure it's all over the place. So up here, I feel really free, and that is a big bonus here. Another bonus is that it's around my wife's family, and she gets to see a lot of her family. And, you know, that was really important to her, spending 17 years down in Florida and not coming up here all that often. I think I only got to make 1 or 2 trips up here. She came up maybe a dozen times. Um, and we just working all the time down there. It was horrible. And having that kind of people up your butt about how your stuff is. And if you have some kids, they're going to leave their bike out in the lawn one night, you know, and after a long day of work, you're just going to come in and you're not going to notice the bike and you're just going to want to go to sleep. And the next morning, you're going to get up and there's some old person walking their dog is going to say to you, hey, you know, that bike's been out there all night. You know, I'm like, ugh. Like all night long, he couldn't watch his 60 Minutes. He had to look out his window waiting for somebody to come out and put that damn bike away. That's crazy. So that is the real good thing about living here in Michigan. But I have a tendency of not being very saying negative things on things. I try to really take the positive out of the negative stuff and really go with that. I try not to dwell on the negative things. And because of that, I've made videos and I've had people tell me that because of your videos, we decided to make the move. We've always wanted to live up there in UP. We've gone up there a few times and visited or whatever. I've had this multiple times in my UP videos. You all can go back and check anything I'm talking about. I'm not going to give you links because I don't even know where they're all at this time. But multiple times we're moving up here because of your videos and this, that, the other. And every time I feel good about that, but then I feel this really uneasy feeling because I'm going, oh man, you know, it isn't all rainbows here. You know, it isn't all awesome and great. And it really depends on the type of person you are. For a person like me, it's been very difficult. I'm a very outgoing, outward person. I talk to anybody, everybody. I swear I talk to anybody. I don't care who you are, what you're doing, who you love, who you don't love, what color. I don't even care. I'm talking to everybody. I'm kind of a motor mouth if you haven't noticed. And that's just me. And up here, people are more reserved and they're not very outward going. So a person like me coming around here is it's different. People know it. I get this all the time. It's either me or my son walking into a store. They always say, oh, we know it's either you or your son when you come in because our voice kind of travels. And when we come in, we're saying, hi, how you doing? And people around here aren't really like that. If you walk into a store around here, they're not necessarily going to ask you, hey, how you doing today? You go into a Florida store, and no matter what one it is, no matter how bad of a day the person had, they're going to ask you, hey, how you doing today? Thank you for stopping in. You know, they're just going to be like that. It's that Southern charm thing. Well, there's not a lot of that up here at all. So that was very hard for me. And because these people comment these things, and it's been multiple people have told me this, I want to let them know that, you know, you got to be a little bit of an engineer. Like I was saying earlier, this place makes you kind of learn how to get through things because you got to travel for everything you really want. I mean, of course, we have little grocery stores here and little gas stations and things like that, and little shops, and everybody's got a Dollar General or a Family Dollar nowadays. It seems like they're trying to come into every little town and take over what little private businesses they have left. What's up, Spartan? How you doing? But you have to travel. I have to drive about 40 something miles either direction to go to a main grocery store. And if I want to go to a Walmart, I got to go a little farther than that. Back in Port Charlotte, we had 5 super Walmarts within a 10-mile radius of where I lived. I mean, of course, in Southwest Florida, they're going to cater to the elderly. That's why we had a Circle K on one side of the road and on the other side of the road, just to make it a little bit easier for the elderly to get around. We have drugstores on every single corner, you know, McDonald's and everything everywhere. Well, that's not like that up here in UP. You really have to travel. And that's something that was really hard to get used to. We used to just buy our dinner. Like I said, we worked 1 million hours a day and we'd buy our dinner and on the way home every night from work, you know, well, here we got to go grocery shopping and you can't do it much, especially when the winter comes in, which brings to another negative part. If you live out in a rural area where I live, like I live, you could be snowed in for a few days. Doesn't matter if you have a job. Snow don't care about your feelings. It just don't. I really tried to talk with it and reason with it. Didn't work. Doesn't care. I'm not even trying to be funny. Many a night I sat there and talked to the snow to please stop. I can't go out there and shovel anymore. Got a bad-ass snowblower this year. Don't worry about it. Whenever trees have to be chopped down to make a building. Yeah, and let me tell you, it's where, you know, it's worse than that up here. That's another bad thing up here. Since Solar Bear, I don't know you. You're new to my channel, new to the live. Thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it. Again, I'm mostly reptile related, but I do like to do outdoor stuff. Talk about more about that here in a second. But yeah, they tear trees down. It drives me nuts. What a lot of the people do around here is when they retire or they're getting towards the end of their days, they sell off all the lumber on their property, and then they come in and tear them all down, and then leave it looking like crap. You know what I mean? And then they'll sell their property or whatever differently so they can make extra money, I guess. I'm not really sure. But even around my place, it's horrendous looking. It's terrible. I live in Cedar River, Michigan, here in UP, so it's pretty rural and we don't have a lot of infrastructure, so it's not a big deal. And up until recently, I was actually on the board over there, on the planning commission, I should say. But anyway, you know, the snow here can be pretty wicked. You know, we don't get as much snow as some of the northern counties above me because I am in the very southern tip of the Southwest, not the very southern tip, but closer to the southern tip of the Southwest side of the UP. So we're over Wisconsin instead of over Michigan itself. And we don't get as much snow as they do up there. And I can give you an example. Last year we drove up there and we had pretty crappy snow. And I swear every 10 miles I went, I could physically see the difference. And by the time we got to where we were going, you couldn't see houses no more. The snowbanks were high enough by the side of the road that you couldn't even see an address or if that was that place you were looking for. It's scary. You got to be ready for it. Yes, ball pythons mainly. I have a bunch of different stuff, but mainly ball pythons. But there's a lot of stuff you have to learn too. You know, the people here have been they were very, I don't want to say cold shouldered because that's how it felt to me. And I was kind of had a chip on my shoulder for the first 2 or 3 years I was here, to be honest with you, about the people around here. And I know most of that was my fault, but I have a tendency not to want to say bad things about things. So that's why I got to make this video. These people make these things, comments saying, hey, we're moving there because of you. Just know that, you know, I'm giving you all the best of the best, you know, and it's hard for me to give you the worst of the worst, but I'm going to give you some here. So that's some of the, you know, good and some of the bad. But the ugly of it is the part I want to talk to you about. Now, I got an email from a gentleman who got it right off. If y'all know, when you look at my videos down there, you have all my information. You can get my email, all that stuff. I got an email from an older gentleman in his 60s. He had bought some property up in Sault Ste. Marie area in the UP. And it was a horror story. I mean, he made a fake email, separate email from his regular one. He begged me not to try and track his IP. He begged me not to say what even his fake name was. He begged me not to even say the Sault Ste. Marie, but this was about a year ago, so I think we're okay now. Because he was so afraid people are going to hear about this, but he was literally robbed by the town. The town just didn't want him there, and they forced him out. They wanted his land. He bought it. He was from the lower part of Michigan, and they just didn't want him there. It's a horrendous story, and he kind of wanted me to share it, but he didn't want to share it. He was like really scared. I finally had to tell him that I'm not going to share your story because you were too petrified about this that I don't want any repercussions, or you just worrying that there's going to be repercussions. It got crazy. It snowed on my birthday on the 25th of October, and nothing has stuck. That was the only snow that stayed overnight, and then it was gone. And the last 2 days have been in the 60s here, from dropping below 30 to in the 20s to 60 somehow. So, but I know the cold's coming back, unfortunately. Some of the horror stories past that gentleman's is that I'll speak for myself, and I can only speak for myself. All the businesses around here have been very kind to myself and my family, but the contractors around here, the people that come out and fix your septics and your furnaces, maybe your gas range, these type of things where they have to come out, have ripped us off unbelievably bad, really bad. We've been ripped off thousands and thousands of dollars. And I don't want to say by my neighbors because the majority of everybody around here has been very good to us. Very hard to break through. I mean, when I first got here, they looked at me like I was going to kidnap their kids, which I found funny because these people's idea of a kid's birthday party is how drunk they can get. So I thought that was kind of weird. Now, sorry, that's a diss on them. They are a lot of alcoholics up here. It's a big deal. It's cold in winter. It's not much to do. It's just the way it is. But it is hard to break through and get into them. But we have been ripped off by some contractors badly for thousands of dollars. And you know, now we kind of know better, but that goes back to learning how to take care of your own stuff. Like I just learned how to fix a furnace, and I'm afraid of gas stuff, and I'm afraid of electric stuff really bad. And plumbing, I'm not good with plumbing either. I'm not a good guy when it comes to fixing things, but I'll always be there for you. I'll hold the flashlight. You know, I'm that guy. What's going on, Gay? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Your winters are our summers. You're lucky. Um, but some of the other bad stuff, like a gentleman contacted me and left some pretty bad messages on one of my videos about the UP, and they are from the UP. They're Upers themselves, and by the end of it, I'm not going to go word for word. I mean, you can go back and check it out if you want. I mean, I'll say the person's name because I hope they're watching. But it was Gothic Owl. And just with the Gothic part, whenever I hear the Goth, I realize that the Goth are definitely people that feel like they're outsiders. I mean, that's their own words, not mine. That's how they look at things. And I can totally see that that is a big thing around here. There's a lot of youth that really want to separate themselves from the average norm around here. And I say that because I get questions like, hey, this is a big question. I don't know. I must look like I know, but, and that's okay. But I get, how do they treat the gay community? How is the gay and lesbian community treated up here? And I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I don't know. I know that they're here. I don't see that they have any issues. I see them go everywhere I go. People are all talking, all good to go. I don't think there's a problem, but I'm also not in the loop. Don't say anything funny, Iron Dog. Don't say anything funny, Justin. I know y'all about to say, yeah, you're in the loop, whatever. But I'm not really in the loop, so I don't really know. That's like one of those, I get this question a lot. You can check this stuff out. I'm not even joking. I get that question a lot, multiple times by different people. I don't know. And in the same sense, I get that same question about how do they treat the African-American people? How do they treat the Mexican people? To be totally honest with you, I don't think the people in UP are inherently racist in any sort of way at all. I mean, I've seen some people that have their bigotry ideas and stuff like that. And it's not super prevalent up here, so I don't hear it a lot or anything. I think they don't have a lot of experience with a lot of different cultures. There's not a lot of African Americans here. That said, there are some. They're smarter than we are because it's too damn cold up here. But I would say if anything, they just haven't spent a lot of time around people of different cultures. Now, if y'all have been following me for a while, you know that we take the family on cruises, we go to different countries, we are all about different cultures. Mainly because we're foodies. I don't want to make it sound like we run around and we're going to adopt a bunch of babies from other countries. That's not happening. I'm just saying we're foodies and we like food. So we like food from all different places. And we have a lot of respect for that. And so that's another hard thing up here. If you want good food, restaurant type of, you're not going to get good Mexican food. You're going to get halfway decent, the best they can do. But you're not going to get good Italian food. Same thing. If you want a pasty, I had one for the first time. Not a big fan of them. They're kind of funky, but I want to thank Callie who gave them to us. That was cool, but I'm not big into those things anyway. Thank you, My Animal House. I appreciate it. But I had to make this video because this Gothic Owl talked about how if you're just a little bit different, if you just don't have much in common, or if you're even just a little bit odd, these people, and this person speaking, Gothic Owl, not myself, so please understand that. I know somebody's going to skip through this video, hear me saying this, and say, Uper said this about the UP, people of the UP. But this person said, being a Uper themselves, said that if you're just a little bit different, a little bit odd, the people will shun you, they'll treat you like crap, and they will make your life miserable. And it comes from within as well. So what I gathered from that comment, part of the comment, I gathered that even his own family members don't accept them. And I think that they go more on the Goth side to be just, look, I'm more different to you. The more you don't accept me, the more different I want to be from you because I just want to be accepted. So Gothic Owl, I just want to let you know. I know you left your final comment was that I'm looking like them, talking like them, and I'm probably going to be just like them. I get it. I hope not. And your view of them anyway. I hope that isn't what happens. But it sounds like your family even kind of crapping on you. Well, again, I'm not from here, and I have my own morals, my own standards, and my kids come first. There's not one that comes before the other. Whoever the gun's being aimed at is the one I'm going to jump in front of so they don't get shot. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I look at stuff. And I'm really sorry that you're going through that. But just know, I think you're a pretty young person. Just know that all that stuff kind of ends. Once you become an adult, kind of get out of school area, get out of that town, and go make a life. People are too busy to kind of bully. So most of that bullying, all that kind of stuff really ends at school. I wish a lot of people knew that. A lot of people commit suicide in their senior year because of bullying. If they just realize that kind of stuff ends once you leave. Stupid thing. Tweeting that out now, going Uper said, oh, great. Thanks, Iron Dog. I don't even tweet. I don't have a Twitter. I think I do actually have a Twitter, but I don't even know how to get on it and use it. I've never done it. Never even looked at a Twitter. I've heard about Donald Trump's Twitters. That's about as much twitting as I've heard, and I've never looked it up. But things are easy here. They aren't hard. If this person went on to say that if you don't dress like them, if you don't like hunting, you don't like drinking, all these things, that the people kind of cold shoulder you. And there's a lot to what they said is true. I still, to this day, I have my foot in the door here. I've been here 6 years and I just got my foot in the door. I'm not allowed in, but I got my foot in the door. You know what I mean? And I guess some people at this point, whether they say, you know what, I'm just going to go somewhere else and take their foot out. And some people are just like, I'm going to keep my foot here a little longer. I think I'm about to get in there. It's warm in there, you know? And that's where I'm at. You know, we could move in the next year or two. It's a possibility. But I wanted to address those few things because these are questions I get a lot and I don't know how to address them. I'm not in these communities to be able to answer that correctly. I don't see a lot of hating and bashing. I probably wouldn't hear a lot of that stuff anyway, because the people that I keep close around me are more concerned about their lives and what they're doing and not concerned about judging other people with theirs. It's kind of what I do. I don't really pick friends that are judgmental like that in that way, you know? I don't judge people on things that you don't have any control over, you know? I don't want to be judged over crap. I got a big nose. I don't want to be judged because I got a big nose. I have no control over that. It used to be a nice little cute nose too. I swear to God it was. It was so cute. I'll post a picture on Instagram if I can find one. It was cute nose. And then once my dog, we had that electric collar box that dogs have, and they can go around the perimeter of the yard. And if it gets too close, it buzzes a little bit. And it'll give them a shock if they go too far after that. Well, we had that on our dog, and I was playing with her, and I was on my knees, and she went running at me, and I went to duck because she was going to jump over me, and I didn't duck quick enough, and that box cracked me in the nose. And ever since then, it's just grown and grown. My mom says it's because I was a little liar when I was a kid. Bitch. Oh, I'm only kidding. I love you, Mom. My son looked at me like, oh, my God, you just called Grandma. She'll forgive me, man. She's tough. She's city chick. City chicks are tough. And big ears. Thank you, God. I love carpet pythons. You're the shit. Big ears, too. Why didn't you guys ever say anything about my big ears? I would have known. Now I got a complex. Now I got to be one of those type of people that wear the hat. You ever see those people that wear the hat that goes over their ears? And like hats are supposed to be above the ears, but they wear it over. That's how I'm going to have to roll. Hey, listen, there's a million reasons why I love my wife. And not just because I think we're going 24 years this January, right? One of them is because she puts up with the big ears and the big nose, right? Oh, God, I got to take her thing away. She doesn't deserve to have a wrench. Yeah, I'll wear some earmuffs. That's what I'll do. But I just wanted to go live, talk a little bit about UP stuff. I haven't put a UP video out there in a little while, and I've got a lot of questions lately and a lot of things people have asked me, and I never really know how to address them. And it's not something you want to talk about, like the lesbian and gay community. It's something I don't really know about. And how do I sit there and put that in a comment back to them? I can't really tell you other than I haven't seen a lot of hate for them. I've seen a lot of them around, and it doesn't seem like anybody has a problem with them. But I guess it's like anywhere else, you know, you're going to have the good, you're going to have the bad. Thank you, Exquisite Exotics. I appreciate it. 17 years in September. Congratulations to you as well. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So I kind of summed all that up into a quicker video because, like I said, I have a sore throat going on. I don't know what the situation is. I'm really hoping it's dry air. We have a COVID running rampant right now. Is it the whole high school, guys, or just the ninth grade?
9th through 12th.
9th through 12th is at home right now doing schooling from home and crap. So they still have all the right up until the 8th grade still going into school, which is so stupid. I hate to say it too. The schools aren't the best around here. They're just not. And I know people around here locally that are watching this right now are going to hate on me. So if you see dislikes pop up, it's either Chris, Justin, or now Gay, since he's talking about my big ears and nose. Thank you about the big ears. I wasn't talking about the big ears. When are you going to bring them up? God, doing the rest of this video like this. You all blame Gay. That's okay. I love you. And I don't have a problem. Trust me. Trust me. That's why I love my wife. I'm telling you, she puts up with the big ears and the big nose. She does. Like a champ. I cook dinners, though. I'm a good cook. I do a lot of cool shit. Not sure I pat myself in the back a little bit. I do. I just do. I do because it's in my nature. I wanted everything I didn't have for my kids. That was my big thing. Just give them everything I didn't have. And I don't mean give them the best of the best of this or that or the other. I mean, I wanted to give them the attention I didn't have. And for many years, I didn't, living in Florida. And like I said, if you all see me 10, 15 years ago, my kids will contest this. LJ will tell you. I wasn't the person I am now. I used to be a real dick. I said the word, I said the bad word, but I was. I made a conscious effort. Like, I don't want to be this way. I don't want, one of my best friends told me, it's been friends with me forever, told me, it's really hard to hang out with you. Back when you were kind of a jerk, we all would just have a hard time. We'd always want to hang out with you because you're fun, but you never knew what was going to happen. So we didn't want to hang out with you. And that hurt like bad. And, but at the same time, they were telling me how glad that, I've really made a way. I didn't mean to go out and get in fights and things like that. I was just kind of a jerk. I argued everything. Like, sometimes you just need to pick your battles. I was that kind of person that had to argue everything. And it turns out that that's the person I hate the most. The person that knows all the answers, that has all the answers to everything. That's the person I hate the most. And that's what really did it. I hate myself. That's the person I hate. I hate the person that has all the answers, no facts. Empty hands, going to tell you everything you need to know. They need to borrow money from rent from you all the time, but they're telling you how to make money. You know what I'm saying? It's always that. I can't stand it. See, I'm also not a hunter up here, and that's put me out. And I don't drink. That's put me out. People get together socially, gathering around here. It can be very depressing for families up here, especially people that lost loved ones. Long winters, very gray, very black and white. For the first couple of years, I was like, this is awesome. It looks great. This is so cool looking. It's freezing cold and I hate it, but it looks cool. How can people get bummed? But years go on, it does. It can be monotonous and it's tough. So I did want to put a video out today talking about that. I also am going to be cutting this a little bit short only because DA Exotics has got a live going on right now. And he has Wally Kern on there from Supreme Gecko, who does a 12 Days of Christmas every year. I don't have a link right this second. Actually, I'll get one while I'm talking. But he does a 12 Days of Christmas every year, and it's pretty cool. Lots of prizes given away, animals, reptile gear, things like that. Lots of cool stuff. I think it was like $3,500 worth of stuff last year, and it might even be more now. I don't even know, but it's pretty cool. And I might even get involved myself. I got to see if there's anything I can do more about that. I guess you have to watch his channel if you want to find out. So I'm going to put a link in the chat real quick, just so you all have Wally's channel. So this is Wally's channel. You can go over and subscribe to it. Let him know, go any percent if you'd like. You can join in there and win some prizes. So I do also want to say he's on live now with DA Exotics channel. They're probably talking about it. I guess I could probably find his link as well. But I do want to say that we did an awesome job on that live that we did with the game show, and it came out really well. And with the super chats, we were able to put on another one. So we're still working on a date for that and prizes for that as well. What else? What else? DA Exotics, that's what I'm looking for. I think I'm getting dementia. I got so much going on in my head that I lose track of where I'm at. I'm sure you all seen it and noticed it. My wife says it's because, you've had some head injuries. I'm like, yeah, head injuries. She's like, you've lost your grill from eating handlebars. You've been in a couple motorcycle wrecks. You're not as sharp as you were, she keeps telling me, but I think she's just full of it. What are you laughing about? Fucking laughing at me, man. You see what kind of kids I got? You guys are wrong, goes to dummy. Here is a link straight to the live that Andrew is doing right now. So I'm going to jump off of here. Thank you all. I know this is a short one, but we will be doing another game show. So we watch it for the next week's live. We'll talk about that. I might even have a special guest or two on. If anybody's interested in joining and checking stuff out, or has any questions for me ever, or wants to join one of these lives, feel free to email me at goinooper@gmail.com. I know I don't have a lot of energy tonight. Again, I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm hoping, again, dry weather. Please be the dry weather, which is very possible because it happens every year like this. I get this sore throat. I think I'm going to get this bad cold and then I'm fine. So fingers crossed for that. One question, you like Star Wars? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. How do you know I like Star Wars? Do I got Star Wars stuff? I mean, I know I have Star Wars stuff all in front of me where I can see. But yeah, I do. I like old Star Wars, if I'm being honest. The new stuff, I tolerate it because, 1974, I was born in 1975. Star Wars was a big part of my childhood. So wasn't Jaws, but I still go in the ocean. Star Wars is awesome. That's cool. Yeah, no, I love Star Wars, man, and I even like the newer stuff, things like that, because you get to hear some of the story that if you didn't read the books, that you know you can kind of see parts of, and if you did read the books, you can kind of relate it, and it's kind of neat. But other than that, I don't geek out about it because y'all have enough reason to pick on me with my big nose and my big ears now that I know about the big ears. Ah, big ears. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt,
You
Gay.
don't have big ears.
Thank you. Yeah, I love you. My nephew is the best. What says you there, LJ?
What?
What about your dad's big ears?
Kind of big.
That's right. They gotta live with me. I pay
Our
the
gym
bills.
teacher's ears are small.
Oh, it's like small, like they can barely hear you small.
No, that's big.
All right, guys. I love you so much. Link up there to Wally Kearns' channel if you want to join yourself for the 12 days of Christmas and win some prizes, have some fun. Maybe you want to donate something to it. You can always talk with him. There's another link in there for the live chat. Hand play. I know he's not in here. He doesn't really check out my lives. He is mainly over there on the Iron Animal Show and Iron Dog Reptiles, as well as my Animal Houses channel. But I put a little funny thing in there in the video because he's afraid of snakes. And I know he doesn't get to watch it because the guy's busy, but he's a funny guy. But I couldn't find his link. So I'll have to put a link in there. I have to find his link to his channel and put it down in that video at a later date. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. I love each and every one of you. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell, let you know upload a video. Be watching for the next live. And also be watching for my videos because every now and then I throw in a hidden giveaway and you really have to watch the whole thing to find out. So I may have already done it and it may still be coming. You just won't know. All right, I'm out. Love you. See you. Bye.